Hello, Eagles. Today we've got your hard news on slippery slopes, both real and moral. I'm John A.
And I'm Nick. We also go from the real world to the cyber world, all today on your Eagles Perch. No matter what you may believe about global climate change, when a region goes from drought to torrential rain, the results can be deadly. Shania shares with us the tragedy that recently hit Bogota.
Although a rainy evening can be calming and nice to some people, it can often lead to disastrous situations when rain gets heavy and the dirt gets muddy. A mudslide that happened in Bogota, Colombia, where an avalanche was born when the rain the night before triggered it to go off, destroying houses, cars, stores, and innocent lives. With more than 250 dead, more than 170 missing, and leaving more than 200 injured, residents are trying to dig through the thick mud in hopes they will find more missing people. A quote from a man that experienced the river doing its damage: "I watched the people, some girls coming down the river, some bodies coming by the water. It was terrible. It was pretty shocking." While families' lives have been destroyed, they will need to have hope in order to recover from their loss of loved ones and their city as a whole. This is Shania for Olathe North News.
Mudslides are not the only thing that can bring death and destruction. The moral slippery slope of detention camps can have a similar tragic end. Currently, the European Union faces some hard moral choices on their immigrant camps. Few realize or are willing to admit that the United States had its own concentration camps during World War II. Housed mostly along the West Coast, U.S. citizens of Japanese descent were interned in these places during the war. Many were children. George Takei, Mr. Sulu on Star Trek, was one of those children who endured U.S. camps. Terrell brings us his story.
One of the darkest times in American history began to repeat itself. Actor and social justice activist George Takei warned the Star Trek actor who spent years of his childhood in Japanese American internment camps during World War II, said he's revealing parts of his past as he watches President Donald Trump attempt to carry out an executive order that reminds him of the one that imprisoned his family and thousands of innocent people nearly 75 years ago. It's not going to happen again. It is happening again, Takei said in an interview with Time ahead of his Broadway musical Olathe, coming Thursday or Sunday. It is.
Turning now from real world to cyber world, Brandon and Harrison discuss the gateway to our cyber dreams and games.
Basic gaming setup for if you ever want to stream or just want to have fun. This is for intermediate, like people who've actually done it before. It's going to cost you around $800 for everything together. What else did you want? Alright, so the benefits of everything is that you're going to have, your computer's probably going to be the fastest one out there. I made sure that the CPU was, one of the faster ones while staying on the cheap. CPU itself is $130. It's the AMD FX 8350. It has 8 cores and it's about 3.5 gigahertz without overclocking. Now the color design is a little bit futuristic. It is a red and black setup. The tower that I picked out is the NZXT H440. It's red and black with a sleek design. On the right part of the tower there's a window so you can see the inside of everything working together. And there are also lights that are inside of it that will shine red. This design I picked kind of like a Deadpool theme. So I have Deadpool wall posters, Funkos, Pops, action figures, and games. Alright, so one of the biggest things to having a setup is probably the desk. I recommended the IKEA Lindmont. That's the kind of desk I use. It's nice, it's sturdy, and it can hold a lot of weight. It can hold me up. It's nice. It's about 42 inches by, I think, 24, so it's pretty big, but it can fit in a nice little small dense area. They do come in black or white, however I picked the black one to go with my setup. With it, I also have the AK racing chair. This chair is like $250, but it's one of the most comfortable chairs you'll ever sit in. Another good thing to have is speakers. I have JBL Elites with a sub, so I can get that little, you know what I'm saying? Another big aspect to it, I would say, is probably be lighting. What I use is the RGB LED strips. They have little adhesive stickers on the back, so you can stick it wherever you want, and I laid those around my desk so it can give it a nice aesthetic light.
Those two.
Oh, everything that I'm naming off can either be bought from IKEA or Amazon. Alright, so if you decide to treat your stuff with enough passion to win over a real woman, instead of just staying in your house playing games all the time. Sorry, that got too real for me. I'd say probably about 5-6 years, if you keep everything right. However, with computers, I would switch out the parts every 3 years. So, yeah. My name is Harrison.
My name's Brandon.
And that says ACOL stuff. Yeah.
Once you have your dream gaming system, you've got to have the best games. Brady may just have such a game in this report on the resurrection of a classic.
New game systems and video games are being released a lot recently, especially since the Nintendo Switch has been announced. One of these titles are Sonic Forces. Starting back in 1991, Sega released their ultimate counter to Nintendo and their mascot Mario. This counter was Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic was able to match Nintendo and Mario with the original trilogy of Sonic the Hedgehog 1, 2, and 3. So very original. Sonic later expanded into modern day, usually behind Nintendo, and possibly copying them a few times here and there. So Nintendo technically won the Sega v Nintendo wars. The downfall of Sonic the Hedgehog was devastating. Many years later, after their great success with the Blue Blur, they released Sonic Boom. Sonic Boom had very many glitches, was very less mature than all the other games, and this killed it. It changed the way the characters looked and also the way they acted. The game was a complete downfall and a miserable fail, even with a TV show to follow it. With Sega looking for some amazing redemption, they are releasing 2 new games. The first is a blast to the past with a 2D format, playing just as Sonic 1, 2, and 3, except with a little bit of a different style. Sonic Mania. In Sonic Mania, you can play as Sonic the Hedgehog himself, Tails the Fox, or Knuckles the Echidna. The next game is Sonic Forces. Based in a world where Sonic's mortal enemy, Dr. Eggman, yes, it sounds very cheesy, but that is his name, finally beats Sonic, and now Sonic and his friends must stop the evil Doctor and reclaim his world. This game has a lot of noticeable Star Wars references, such as the first original name for Sonic Forces was Sonic Wars, and the saying, "Join the Resistance," seems to be a lot like Star Wars Rebels, the cartoon series that airs on Disney XD. With some very interesting concepts, such as the return of classic Sonic, Sonic's younger version from Sonic 1, 2, and 3 and on, comes back again. As seen in Sonic's 20th anniversary game, Sonic Generations. I have many hopes for the game, being a Sonic fan myself, and hope that the downfall will soon end and that we can go back into the golden ages. This is Brady Klein for North News Now, signing off.
All this living in a cyber world can lead to only one thing. Tech addiction! So, I faced some demons to bring you this dangerous report. Although it may go without saying, a lot of teenagers in our very own school suffer from a thing called technology addiction. Technology addiction is an umbrella term that may include behaviors such as video gaming, gambling, eBay and other online auctions, social media, excessive texting, or just smartphone overuse in general. Experts say that 6 to 10% of smartphone users display signs of internet addiction. Duh. According to studies at the Center of Internet Addiction Technology, addicts are likely to suffer from anxiety, depression, social phobia, and sleeping problems. These traits are similar to shopping addicts, namely materialism and impulsiveness.
Alright, I'm recording. Go.
She's cute. What? Hi. We're here with our... Why am I talking like this? This isn't how we do things.
Go.
Alright, so how often are you on your phone?
All day. all day, every day. I can't put it down, honestly. Like, kind of crazy.
So what do you do mostly on your phone?
Text, Snapchat, stuff like that.
And do you ever feel like you're just bound to your phone? There's no escape.
Maybe. Like, I forgot my phone one morning, and it's kind of awful. I didn't really know what to do, so.
That's all we need. Cut that. All right. So, how often are you on your phone?
Bro, back the mic up, bro. I don't want to speak into it, bro. No comment.
No comment. What do you do on your phone mostly?
No comment.
All right.
Oh, I don't want to text Emily. I want to text David. I saw David's name. I don't. Where did David's name go? Oh, I can text me.
Okay, are you going to do the tag or should I just cut it?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was too addicted to my technology to do the tag.
Oh, that's it. We're going to do
That's the one!
Really? Really, Nick? I've got your cure right here. A good old-fashioned dependable book. Never needs charging and never lets you down. It's good for your soul. Here's more. In today's society, the art of reading for pleasure is going obsolete. It is rare to see a young adult, more specifically a high schooler, reading a book of their choice that isn't for a school assignment. Why is this, you ask? One obvious catalyst to the decrease in young adults reading for pleasure nowadays is obviously technology. Everywhere you look, it is very easy to find a teenager with a cell phone or tablet in hand. But how often have you looked around and seen a book in a young adult's hand? The New Yorker claims that a recent summary of studies cited by Common Sense Media indicates that American teenagers are less likely to read for fun at 17 than at 13. Contrary to the belief that all teenagers don't read, there are that percentage and handful that still take pleasure in reading. According to the New Yorker, the top 10 young adult reads of 2015 were Paper Towns by John Green, Looking for Alaska by John Green, Me and Earl and the Dying Girl by Jesse Andrews, The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak, Miss Pegrin's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs and Cassandra Jean, The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian by Charmaine Alexie and Ellen Forney, An Abundance of Catherines by John Green, Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell, and 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher. So make sure to sit down and cozy up with a good book of your choice in your free time. This is John A. Simmons signing off. I'm John A.
And I'm Nick.
Read a book.
Or don't.